Welcome, friends, family, and honored guests to Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy's graduation ceremony. My name is Brian McAndrews, and I am the visual arts teacher here at Creative Arts. I'm also the class advisor, along with Miss Cassandra Durham, to CAMVA's graduating class of 2016. It is my honor to be your MC for this momentous occasion. It is with great pride that I present to you the 2016 Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy's graduating class. Will all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to ask graduating senior Carlton Harris to lead us in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Please be seated. We have a number of special guests with us this morning. I would like to take this time to recognize Board President Martha Wilson, Board Vice President Felicia Reyes-Morton, as well as board members Teresa Atwood, Joshua Cole, Wasim Mohammed, and Miss Blackshear. I would also like to recognize the district administration staff, Deputy Superintendent Katrina McCombs, And last but not least, District Superintendent Payman Rahanaford. The Honorable Mayor Red has sent a representative, Robert Corrales, who is the business administrator for the mayor. Mr. Corrales brings with him, on her behalf, certificates recognizing the graduates as citizens of the great city of Camden for their significant academic achievement. As a show of our gratitude, we would like to present this portrait drawing done so marvelously by one of our juniors, Alexis Arizaga, as a gift for all the mayor has done for Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy through the years.
Good morning. First, I just want to say I truly apologize that the mayor couldn't be here. She has another function that she has to go that's out of the state. And you can blame me. I'm the one who partially did her schedule, and just some things that we can avoid. But she just wanted to send her congratulations to the class of 2016. You guys make Camden proud, and she knows that you guys are going to continue to make Camden proud. And despite what anybody might say, despite anything you might read in the papers and the media, you guys can do whatever you want. Never give up. And just remember, just when you think that you can't, just look in front of you. Here are people who look just like you, who have been the same places that you've been, and grew up with the same issues that you have. So if we can do it, you definitely can do it. And you being here today just shows the world that Camden can do it. So thank you very much on behalf of Mayor Dana Red.
Next, I would like to invite the former District Superintendent, Dr. Roy Dawson, to speak. Without Mr. Dawson's vision, there would be no Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy.
Good morning to the class of 2016. And to our board president, Martha Wilson, and to your superintendent and his staff, Dr. Brockington, and all of the teachers here at Creative Arts High School. It is a blessing to see you this morning. Your teachers have given you, students, the foundation for moving forward in this very competitive world that you're going to see. Under the leadership of Dr. Brockington, she's given you that foundation that you're going to so desperately need. So I say to you, and I salute to you and your parents, continue to work hard. Continue to make Camden City the best city in the state of New Jersey. Pulling together, those are the kinds of things we can do. It's a blessing to get up sometimes and look at our teachers on television working with our students. That is such a thrill to see. We want to continue those kinds of things, and I say to the board and to the superintendent, let us continue to work together. Let us continue to focus on our youth in Camden City, whether we're in our public schools, our charter schools, our private schools. They are still our children. So I say to you, and I salute to all of you who are supporting our youth. And young man, you just keep on doing what you're doing. You are a gem to this city. You are a gem to this city. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to have just a few words. And it's just a blessing to see everyone with a happy smile on their face this morning. God bless you. Good luck to you, 2016 students. Thank you very much.
Joining the school faculty and honored guests on stage are the top 10 academic students of this year's class. I want to take a moment to also recognize those seniors who, through their volunteerism, made this year so special. I want to thank, on behalf of all of Creative Arts, Senior Class President Cameron Carter, Class Vice President Shania Burke, Class Secretary Jermaine Trusty, as well as Amina Sabri and Jahari Campbell. Thank you all for your service to your class and to the school. Our guest speaker is a graduate of Morgan Village. He was a student of our principal, Dr. Brockington. Currently, he is an associate professor of English and the director of African Studies program at my alma mater, Rutgers University in Camden. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Dr. Keith Green.
Good morning. Good morning. Try one more time. Good morning. Good morning. That's how I like to hear it. So, first of all, thank you, Dr. Brockington, for inviting me to speak this morning at the 2016 graduation. It's a privilege for me to be here today. As was mentioned in my introduction, Dr. Coe taught me when I was at Camden High School back in 1994. Back then we called her Miss Coe, but I'm honored to call her Dr. Coe and Principal Coe this morning. Congratulations to our class, graduating class 2016. You guys have worked hard, and your labors have not been in vain, and so I'm proud to say to all of you, congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. So I'm not going to hold you guys long this morning. I've been through a few graduations myself, and I know how boring it can be to stand up here and be in your hot gown, and you want to embrace your friends and do the running man, the new one, not the old one, right? And so I'm going to give you guys space to do that. But I want to offer you some words of advice, some words of wisdom. The government requires you to go to school, right, to elementary school, to middle school, and to high school. But they don't require you to go to college, right? They don't require you to travel across the seas, to form your own nonprofit, to do your own thing, right? It's a choice to think on your own, right? It's a choice to be your own person. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, about being your own person, about living your life in a way that's respectable, that's honorable, that's make your community proud. So I want to offer you guys 3 words of advice, right? And I'll make it simple. I'll give you guys 3 bullet points for each point that I make through. So my first word of advice is simply to run faster. When I was at Morehouse College, we had a saying that we said almost every single day before we went to class. They would say to us, "He who starts behind in the great race of life must forever remain behind or run faster than the man in front." I'm going to say it once more because I want this to sink in. He who starts behind in the great race of life must forever remain behind or run faster than the man in front. So my first phrase for you is simply, run faster, class of 2016. Run faster. In the 2nd grade, I couldn't read. I mean, not simply having difficulty reading, I couldn't read. My grandmother had a book that she used to always kind of make me read. It was called something like Mr. Logan, right, takes his cart to the market. And I was so bad at reading, I would actually memorize what she would say to me, as opposed to actually understanding each word I was reading. Every word seemed like a mountain. Every sentence felt like an ocean, right? It was that difficult. But my grandmother along with my second grade teacher, right, her name was Mrs. Goldenberg, they teamed together, right, so that I would learn how to read. In the days, Ms. Goldenberg gave me extra help at school so I could learn how to read there. And when I went home, my grandmother would reinforce those same lessons at home, right? Now, I teach English at Rutgers University, Camden, right? I have a PhD in English language and literature. And I'm not saying all that to brag, right? I'm not saying all that to say that I'm better or special or different. I'm saying that to say that if you start behind in life, you can always improve, you can always do better. But that requires you to run faster than the person in front of you. And I want to make this practical, right? I want to make this practical. So what does it mean to run faster? To run faster means to get up earlier than other folks, right? To run faster means to stay up late than other folks, right? To run faster means to ask for extra help, right? To run faster means to bug your teachers, your professors, your guidance counselors, your principals, right, for the extra help that you might need. Right now I'm teaching an online course, and I have several students. But the students who receive the most help are the ones who ask for it. They come to me and say to me, I need extra help with my grammar. I need extra help with my history. And I give it to them because I'm proud to help them in any way that I can. But you have to run faster to do well in life. Does that make sense? Amen. All right. Point 2. I want you guys to never take a no from someone who can't tell you yes. Right? I'll say it once again. Never take a no from someone who can tell you yes. Oftentimes, we get advice from people that we know who are close to us, our parents, our loved ones, often our best friends. Sometimes that advice comes from people who are strangers to us. They may sit behind a desk, they may wear a uniform, they may sport a suit and tie, and we think they know what they're talking about, right? But they may or may not. So my second word of advice means that you have to take advice from people, right, who know what they're talking about, but also are in a position to actually help you achieve what you want to achieve, right? And I'll give a simple story that kind of explains that from my own personal experience. When I was at the University of Michigan, my wife and I lived in something called family housing, right? That was our very first apartment. So folks who've had apartments can kind of get the story probably a little bit better, right? This apartment was completely furnished by the university. So we got a free couch, kitchen table, bed, everything came included within the apartment, right? We also got a washer and dryer for our building, right? We got free storage for our building. And on top of all of that, we also got free utilities. So we don't have to pay for gas, right? For light, right? And also in Michigan where it's extremely cold, right? Those gas bills really went up over the wintertime. So one thing they didn't provide us was an AC unit. During the summertime, you have to go out and purchase your own AC unit. So this being our first apartment, we said, oh, well, that's too much money to buy an AC unit. We'll just sweat it out. So we used iced tea, right? Take multiple showers during the day, right? To kind of fend off the summer. And one day we said to ourselves, you know what, it's too hot. We're going to go out and buy an AC unit. On the way to the store, we ran into our next door neighbor who had lived in family housing for several years. And she said, no, you don't want to do that. Don't buy an AC unit. You'll be fine, just tough it out, right? Come to find out, she had an AC unit right in her kitchen window, cooling her entire apartment, right? Now, my point is this, right? She was telling us no, right? But she had no authority to even tell us yes, right? We should have been calling the actual university itself to find out what the rates were, to find out if there was going to be an increase in our rent because of the AC unit, but we're asking the wrong people. So sometimes you guys are asking your friends, which is fine, you're asking your loved ones, which is fine, but sometimes you gotta ask a person who can tell you and actually give you the power to do what you want to do, right? So never take a no from someone who can't tell you yes, right? One more example to kind of bring home that point. It was my freshman year at Morehouse College, and I took a class called Introduction to Music, one of my favorite classes. The professor's name was Dr. Satterwhite. Up until the final exam, I had an A in the class. I did extremely well. I studied hard, I worked hard, was gonna ace the course. But I stayed up until about 4 o'clock in the morning the previous day to study for the exam. So when 8 o'clock rolls around, I'm still in the bed. I slept right through the entire final, right? So I wake up and I look over and I said, oh man, I missed my final. I looked at my roommate, he said, you messed up. You're gonna fail, right? But I said to myself, he's my roommate, right? He's in college like me trying to get a degree. So, got up, got dressed, walked over to the professor's office, and I said, "Professor, I'm really sorry. I have no excuse. I slept through the exam. I have no good excuse." And she said, "It's okay. You can make that exam up," right? So you need to take your yeses from those people who are able to actually give you and move you to where you need to be. Does that make sense? All right. I want to move to my third and final point. And it simply says, put others first, right? Put others first. And so I want to tell a story which is not strictly real, right? But for those of you who know and love literature, just because something isn't real, right, doesn't mean that it isn't true, right? So here's a true story that it really isn't real, right? So at one point there was this farmer, right? A farmer and her husband. And she had a huge farm, was doing well, making lots of money, being really productive. But she had a mouse problem, right? I can tell you another story about my wife and I in an apartment and a mouse problem, but I'll probably give you too much information, right? But if you've had a mouse problem, you know how that can be, right? So the farmer says to herself, "You know what, I'm gonna catch this mouse. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get a black box, I'm gonna get a stick, and prop that black box up, right? I'm gonna put a piece of cheese under that black box, so that when that mouse comes around, it's gonna hit the stick, right, and they're gonna be trapped, and I'll be fine, right?" So the farmer gets the black box, sets it up, and everything seems good. So the mouse says to himself, "Man, this black box situation looks really bad. I see that cheese, but that black box looks suspicious," right? So the mouse says to himself, "Let me go to my friend, the chicken," right? And ask my friend, the chicken, what I should do. The chicken says, "Well, hey, that's no skin off my beak, right? That black box looks fine to me, and that's your problem. It's no business of mine." So the mouse was a little bit discouraged, but said to himself, "Well, this doesn't look good for me, but let me go to my friend the pig, right? I'll ask my friend the pig what I should do about this black box." The pig says, "Hey, that's no skin off my snout, right? If the farmer wants to get you, right, that's your problem, not mine, right? I'm gonna mind my own business." So finally the mouse says to himself, "Well, I'll go to my friend the cow. The cow always knows what to do, right? I'm gonna go to him and try to figure this thing out, right?" Goes to the cow says, "Hey, that's no hair off my back. If you got a black box after you, I'm still good. That's no business of mine." So one night, the farmer's sleeping, and she hears a noise, and it goes, clap, right? She knows the black box has fallen. So she nudges her husband and says, "Husband, will you go out there and check on that black box? I think I finally caught that mouse." He says, "Sure, I'll go check it out." So he lifts the black box up, and what he does, what does he see? A rattlesnake, right? And immediately the rattlesnake bites him. Before he can even move, it bites him. He falls ill and is in bed for several days. So now the farmer says, "Well, what am I gonna do, right? My husband is sick, bitten by this rattlesnake. How can I help him?" So what does she do? She calls the doctor, right? The doctor comes in, he says, "Oh, well, this man needs help. And what he needs is some chicken soup," right? So the farmer goes, beheads the chicken, right? And she makes her husband the best chicken soup she's ever made in her life. Drinks the chicken soup, but unfortunately, he doesn't get any better. In fact, he actually gets worse, right? So then at that point, she says to herself, "Well, what am I gonna do?" So she calls who? She calls a preacher. Preacher comes by, looks at her husband and says, "This man is sick. What he needs is some prayer. But not just prayer, right? But a prayer breakfast, right?" So the farmer goes out, right? And she kills what? She kills the pig, right? To make some bacon to go with the prayer breakfast. So they eat and they pray and they do a lot more eating, right? And unfortunately, it doesn't work out. The husband is still sick and he's getting worse. So then finally, right, what happens? Right? The husband dies, right? So then they have to have a funeral, right? So who gets killed next? It's the cow. The farmer goes out and kills the cow to make steaks for all the people coming to the house to mourn her husband's death, right? The point of my story is this. You may think you live alone. You may think you live in isolation, but we are all connected, right? The mouse is connected to the farmer, the farmer to us, right? Each of you graduates, you're going to go off and I hope have incredible careers in medicine, in law, community service, the clergy. Those are all important things. But if you achieve individually, that's only half the battle. That's only half of the goal. As you climb, you should be lifting someone else up right next to you. Right now, we have a person who's running for president, I won't even say their name, and they want to build walls around our country, right? They want to kick people out and subjugate those who are already within our borders. That's not the way that we should be building our lives, our countries, our nations, right? So we should be lifting others as we climb ourselves. So again, congratulations to the class of 2016. I see my family Zell out there representing, all right? And I'm so proud of you. I want to encourage you guys to do your best and to keep on striving and achieving. God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Green, for your words of encouragement and advice. We have finally arrived at the moment you all, the graduates especially, have been waiting for, the conference of diplomas. Join me in welcoming our principal and fearless leader, Dr. Davida Coe-Brockington, to the podium.
It's a great day at CAMVA. It's wonderful, our graduates today. I asked Dr. Dawson to come back and the mayor to come back today because, and we're glad Ms. Wilson and Ms. Blackshear are here with us because when we consolidated the creative arts with Morgan Village, they were there to help us open the school. And this is our first class of 8th graders. Most of them were 8th graders at Morgan Village when we came over to become Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. So it's a beautiful thing to see how our 8th graders, and some of the students came in as 9th graders, but how many of them were 8th graders, have grown into beautiful young men and young women who we are very, very proud of. We are very proud of all of our students and what you have accomplished, because you know that many aren't sitting in those seats that you are across the country, aren't sitting in those seats that you are sitting in today. You have made it through the 12 years, and we're very proud of you. And some of you have persevered through quite a bit of adversity. So those of you who have had to many times do things by yourselves, I'm extremely proud of you. And I want you to continue to strive for excellence and persevere through whatever hardships that you may face. Because as we all know, life isn't always the way we want it to be. But it's how we look at those situations, those adverse situations, and how we deal with those adverse situations that can help us to stay positive and to move through life. And I just wish for all of you to have peace in your lives and contentment. So again, I'm proud of all of you. Congratulations. I'm not going to belabor any more up here, so you can get your diplomas and move those tassels over. So I'm going to ask Superintendent Ruhanafard to come up with me at this time. So, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. It's been an honor. So at this time, would the graduates please stand? So they want to come up. I can remember if I say that part at the end or the beginning. Yeah. until they get the diplomas, and then I'll say the other little part that we say at the end. And I didn't know they were going to go out and come back in, so I'll do that at the very end.
Okay,
You'll
sounds
be
good.
here.
What was
You'll
that?
be here.
For the very end part?
Not the very end, no. Just once they get the diplomas, I'll just say, turn your tassels.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good. I'm just
all right.
helping hand it to them.
You want to shake, yeah. Mhm.
Shake hands.
Would you, because I'm going to announce the names here, so you don't have it after.
You want us to move this way?
Are you shaking our hands too? Are you reading? Are you? Can you hand them? You'll hand them as I announce them, okay? Yes.
They come up on the inside. Which way they coming?
Here and then this way. They're going to come down here, and then the top 10 are going to come across the stage. Renasia Alexander. Raymond Alvira. Do you want Naisha Baldwin.
Congratulations, Denise.
Shania Birch. Sheree Blackshear. Kiana Blake. Christopher Brown. Jahari Campbell. Camera Carter. Jamar Clark. Isaiah Conte. Josiah Covington. Perla Crisostomo. Talia Cruz. Rosani Espinal. Quaishanira Gerald. Amina Hardin Bay. Carlton Harris. Natasha Inoa. Dejan K. Johnson. Nejima Maddox. Tyjay McCray. Nair McGriff. Desiree McIntyre. Anae Medina. Terrence Moore. Alexis M. Morton. Darielle E. Ortiz. Vaughn Pace. Selena Peralta. Malaysia Nia Rembert. Moesha Richardson. Arthur Robinson. Deja Rodan. Amina Sabri. Denzel Sanders. Shaquasia Tatum. Jermaine L. Trusty. Naj Yansene. Alexis Young. Will all the graduates please rise?
Okay. Like to thank, before we turn our tassels, we'd like to say a special thank you to Superintendent Rohana Fard and our Deputy Superintendent McCombs for being with us today. So students, thank you. Thank you. At this time, students, class of 2016, having met all the requirements for the state of New Jersey, you are now graduates of the Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. You may turn your tassel.
Some students distinguish themselves through their athletics, some through their hallway antics, many at this school through their creativity in an art. But even while all these attributes are necessary, none is more so than academic achievement. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the class of 2016 salutatorian, Josiah Covington.
Psalms 23 and 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Good morning, graduates, family, and staff. First and foremost, I would like to take this chance and pay homage to our great principal, Dr. Davidico Brockington. And we can't forget our awesome guidance counselor, Ms. Paulina Anyawu. Of course, we cannot forget our teachers who helped and guided us through it all. But most importantly, I would like to take this chance and congratulate my peers, my fellow graduates, because we made it against all the odds that we face on a daily basis. As we transition from children to adults, we have to change the way we move, the way we think, act, and carry ourselves. We need to change our mindsets. First, before we take this next step into the real world, it is very important for us to know ourselves, where we come from, and how we were brought up. The people who came up with us and have been there through the rough times. Knowing these things will help keep us grounded in the many years of our lives that await us. Second, begin to build our brand. Building your brand simply means that you're creating the image you want others to see. Building your brand can entail sometimes having to do an unwanted task because the end result will be so much greater than your current situation. Now should be the time where we begin to shape our future selves, whether it be through attitude, appearance, or even personality. So take action now and do what has to be done to build the future you. Moreover, master the skill of discretion. As children, we were so used to telling everyone our every move and our future plans, whether it be through word of mouth or social media. But I'm here to tell you, don't spoil it. Let it be a surprise. Keeping some things to yourself has many advantages over letting everyone in on what's going on. It could save you from losing that dream job or messing up a relationship. It could prevent anyone from trying to spoil your future plans for success. It's always good to keep at least some things to yourself, because letting everyone in on what's going on can certainly serve as a spoiler. Next, it's time to plan accordingly. Taking the time to plan where you want to be at in the future and how you will get there. Planning for the future is not something that many people do, but those who do end up very successful. Because essentially, planning always keeps your goals at reach. Just think of it as a map to success, because essentially that's all it is. Planning out your future is setting out goals to the next level. It's like dreaming of something and creating a secret passage to go catch that dream. Lastly, go into this world and be a superstar. It's survival of the fittest out there, and when you realize that you doing well is not the best interest of everyone that you know, that is when success will come, and that is when you will be prepared for life. You have to be the hardest working version of yourself, and you can't be afraid to go through obstacles. If you fall, just make sure you get back up, because life is simply a race, and it's about how fast you complete it. To survive, you need to be confident and strong. During the next stages of our lives, it's time for us to make the right decisions. It's time for us to put our goals and dreams first and make it our main and top priorities. Being a superstar is given 110% every time you do anything. Class of 2016, we have to be go-getters. Whatever it is that we want in life, we have to go after it. Knock at the door of success, because it won't just come to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Josiah. I would now like to invite to the stage our amazing guidance counselor, Ms. Paulina Nyanwu, for the presentation of awards and scholarships.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Buongiorno. Bonjour. All right. I am very honored to be here today. This is actually my first graduating class, so it's a very, very big privilege for me. And at this time, I'd like to recognize many individuals who have donated their time and money and efforts to help us realize this day. 5 of them are here with us today. We have 4 of them that will be coming up on stage to present special awards and scholarships to deserving seniors in our graduating class. At this time, I am most honored to invite Ms. Delia Brown, who is the former Director of Curriculum and Instruction of the Camden City School District, a former teacher in the Camden City School District. She worked with our district for over 29 years. She is a product of the Camden City school system. She's a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and she is here every single week facilitating our Girl Talk group. She chaperones our students on trips here in the United States and even internationally when we go on trips outside of the United States. And she's not just a mentor, she's someone that gives of her time to every single one of our students, and a beautiful smile on her face when she meets our teachers and other staff members, and she's willing to help every time. Please help me to welcome Ms. Delia Brown.
Thank you. Every year, I'm just so honored to be here at the graduations to present several awards. And just like Dr. Green said, I have been so blessed in my life, not necessarily financially, but just blessed. And when you are blessed, you have to give back, and that's just who I am and what I do. So it's just something that comes naturally with me. So I thank Dr. Cole-Brockington and the staff for allowing me to present my awards. Okay, the first award is in honor of my brother, Robert M. Ford, and it's the Robert M. Ford Memorial Award. And Robbie and I both attended Mickle School, which is over on Carmilla Boulevard, and that is where the first Creative Arts High School was opened, at Mickle School. So because of that, I started and awarded my brother's name, who passed away in 2001. And Robbie was a product of, I guess not abuse or anything like that with my dad, but home life wasn't really good. My home life with my mother and father was good, although my mother was the one. Sometimes when people say, oh, you don't have a father, well, my father was home, but it didn't make a difference. My mother was the one. So if you just have a mother, you just have a dad, you know, be thankful. But Robbie was home at a time when things were really hard for my mother. And he was able to attend Rutgers in Camden, but after 3 years, he decided that he wanted to do something else. But he was blessed. He ended up working in DIFAS and in the adoption part. But anyway, this award is given to someone who is persistent and determined, just like my brother was. And with this award comes $100 and a plaque. And normally, in years past, it was given to a young lady and a young man, but this year the counselor felt that there were 2 young women who deserved it. So at this time, I would like to ask Anaya Harding Bay I'm sorry, Amina. Sorry about that. I'm terrible with names, but Amina Hardin Bay and Rosani Espinal. And on the plaque, it says, Robert M. Ford Scholarship Award presented to, and then it has the name, in keeping with the spirit of Robert M. Ford, who worked hard to achieve her goals and to overcome obstacles, June 2016, and it's given by Delia Ford Brown and family. And then the last award. When I attended Glassboro State College, I commuted every day from Camden. And Glassboro State College, like that's a way back old name. So you can look at me and, yeah, way back. But anyway, it has gone from Glassboro State College to Rowan College to Rowan University. But anyway, when my mother got the tuition bill, she said she cried and I cried. She said she couldn't afford it. But what she did, my mother went out and she cleaned other people's houses. And this was my mother, not my father, but my mother. She went out and cleaned houses and things like that so that I could go to school. So there wasn't always money left for textbooks. So I have a special place in my heart about trying to help people with textbooks. So in 2012, well, before that, I would give awards myself, and I started in 2004. But then in 2012, I was blessed to be able to start a foundation, and I call it Spare Change, Inc. And this is just a little spare change for children going to college for their textbooks. And I solicit my friends, I do a little bit of fundraising, and hopefully I can get better at the fundraising, and maybe one year I'll be able to give everybody an award, but I don't have enough to do that. But a committee came to my house and they helped me select the students, and the students have to do applications, so we went through the applications. And today, here at Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy, I am happy to present 500 textbook scholarships to the following students: Kiana Blake, Anae Medina, and Amina Sabri. Thank you.
Please join us in thanking Ms. Delia Brown once again. Thank you so much. At this time, it is my privilege to welcome Mr. Reuben Mills. Mr. Reuben Mills is the former superintendent of the Camden City School District. He is currently Chief Executive Officer of New Media Technology Charter School in Philadelphia. He is a well-known philanthropist, a staunch educator. He is very supportive of the Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy and returns every year to guide our students, especially the young men. He bestows his wealth and knowledge and experience on our students. He is a very big mentor in our family. Mr. Reuben Mills.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to the class of 2016. Give it up for them. Over my years in Camden, I've been honored to serve 2 board presidents, and I want to thank them for their years of service to the Camden City School District and the City of Camden, Ms. Susan Dunbar Bay and Ms. Catherine Blackshear. So today I'm honored. This is my 10th year presenting at a Creative Arts graduation, and I'm proud of that. And today I want to bestow a gift to two young men that I've mentored over the years. And the first award, they're cash awards. I'm not going to even tell you what the amount is because I don't want you to hunt them down. The first goes to DJ, DeJuan Johnson. And if many of you remember the old Morgan Village Middle School, I remembered walking into the building in 2007, and I said to the superintendent then, Dr. Young, we need to do something about this building. And I walked into one particular classroom, and this young man was hooded, and he was asleep while instruction was happening. I walked over to him, and I pulled the hoodie off of his head, and I said, good morning. He said, good morning. And so for the last 7 years, I've been honored to just be with him, to guide him, to be his mentor. And I love you, Denzel, and here's your award. And finally, while I have the mic, I just want to say thank you to the staff of Morgan Village, Creative Arts Morgan Village School, and specifically my dear friend, Dr. DeVita Cole-Brockington. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reuben Mills. Another round of applause, please. At this time, I would like to respectfully recognize in our midst Ms. Carolyn James Weeks. Ms. Carolyn Weeks is the president of New NJ Lead Incorporated. She is a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. She's a former principal of Philadelphia Public School System, and she gives annually to Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. She mentors our students, and she's here to honor them again today. Ms. Carolyn James Weeks.
Good morning, everyone. I'd first like to thank my sorority sister, Dr. DeVita Cole-Brockington. I've known Dr. Brockington many, many years. I was fortunate enough to know her parents who worked in the school district of Philadelphia. And she is absolutely, absolutely a gift. And I know her parents are just, I know she doesn't like me to say it, but her parents would be so proud to see her, not just as your principal, not just as a woman with a doctorate degree in education, but a woman who is a woman of substance and who really, really cares about this community and about these young people. Could you please applaud her? As you were told, I represent NJF Lead, which is the New Jersey Foundation of Leadership, Education, and Learning, Incorporated. And this organization was the brainchild of a woman who worked here in Camden for 48 years, Cecilia Brown Cannon. And I know Dr. Dawson and Mrs. Brown remember her. They were her friends. And she was dedicated to make sure that funding remains in this foundation for perpetuity, and that means forever. When she passed away, she left us a small fortune, which I was amazed. And that money is in the bank. It's been invested. So it is our goal to have money for children for many, many, many years. Today, I should let you know, every year when I call Dr. Brockington when we don't have enough children to give money, I can guarantee that she's going to find some young people for us. And I want to thank the counselor, Ms. Anyahu, is that how you say? I want to thank her so much. She found students at the drop of a dime. I want you also to know that these young people will receive a scholarship this year, and for every year they stay in college and attend an HB. For every year they attend an HBCU. Our goal is to make sure that historically black colleges remain viable and open. HBCUs struggle, even the rich ones like Morehouse and Spelman and Hampton, which are where most of the young people go. I'm a graduate of Cheyney University of Pennsylvania, and it's just so important that we keep HBCUs open for these young people. Our 3 students this year, and as I said, all they have to do is remain in college with a decent average, 2.5. You don't have to be a brain. Just stay in college, do your work, and you will get another scholarship every year. And that's Kamra Carter. Ms. Carter. Shania Birch. Thank you. And Naj Yassani. I want to say this also. When we called Dr. Coe-Brockington, we said any young person you give us with a 3-point average or better will receive a scholarship. Only 3 young people filled out that application. Sometimes children, I'm sorry, I taught elementary school and I don't mean to call you children. Sometimes young people, you need to take a chance. We did not have a selection committee this year. We just said if you had a 3.1 or better, we would give you the scholarship. So maybe next year, when you're called to come to the office and given an application, fill it out. It might do you good. On time. These 3 young people are also going to be acknowledged at our fundraiser, which is going to take place this Sunday at the Crown Plaza Hotel. And Ms. Anyahu has the information, and I believe each of the young people should have received an email and a letter letting them know of that activity. I'd like to leave you with just this thought. Everyone can't be in the front row. Life is a theater. Invite your audience carefully. Not everyone is healthy enough to have a front row seat in your life. There are some people in your life that need to be loved from a distance. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you let go, or at least minimize your time with draining, negative, and incompatible, not going anywhere relationships, friendships. Observe the relationships around you. Pay attention. Which one lifts and which one leans? Which ones encourage and which ones discourage? Which ones are on a path to growth uphill and which ones are going downhill? When you leave certain people, do you feel better or worse? Which ones always have drama or don't really understand, know, or appreciate you? The more you seek quality, respect, growth, peace of mind, love, and truth around you, the easier it will become for you to decide who gets to sit in the front row and who you should move to the balcony of your life. You cannot change the people around you, but you can change the people you are around. Young people, when you go to college, don't put everybody in your front row. Everybody doesn't deserve to be sitting in your front row. Choose your front row people carefully. Make good choices. Be successful. Know that God loves you, your parents love you, but the person who has to love you the most is you. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Ms. Carolyn James Weeks. Those are wonderful words of wisdom. I hope we're all listening and taking them all in. And thank you to the HBCU Alumni Association. Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Noemi Soria, who is an alumnus of Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. She's of the class of 2004. She was a vocal music student here at Creative Arts, and currently she works at the office of Senator Nelsa Cruz Perez at the 5th Legislative District Office. Naomi recently celebrated her birthday and decided to have a fundraising ceremony, and in doing so, she was able to raise funds to facilitate and begin a scholarship foundation for a vocal student here at Creative Arts. So she's giving back, folks. Thank you, Naomi. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here and super excited to be able to present this scholarship. Just a quick background, I'm a first-generation college student. After Creative Arts, I used to go to Creative Arts in the old building on Carr Miller, and I decided to go to Lincoln University, which is an HBCU near Cheney, but we're the first. And I decided to go there. 2 weeks into my freshman year, my father passed away. So between funeral costs and my mother being a new single mother and having to put food on the table, there was no money for books. So on top of not realizing how expensive books were, I didn't have money to buy them, ended up working at the library, the school library, and photocopying chapters for my first semester. It was very difficult, but thankfully, because of the community, mentors, family, friends, I was able to finally buy books. I've always been extremely grateful to my former teachers here at Creative Arts, many who are here today still, and I am eternally grateful to them. Dr. Coe, I want to call her Miss Coe, but it's Dr. Coe Brockington. I ended up having a college shower. It's not a thing, but I needed stuff, so I had a college shower, and Dr. Coe bought me a pink ironing board and a pink bathroom set, like a shower caddy. So I was always very grateful to everyone for coming together and helping me, being a first-generation college student. And so I decided for my 30th birthday, instead of having a big celebration, I decided to have a scholarship fundraiser to collect money to be able to present book scholarship. So the award, we were able to, fundraise $650. So that will be, something to help with books. So I would like to present the scholarship to Jahari Campbell. We also have a certificate that was provided by Senator Cruz Perez, Assemblywoman Patricia Egan Jones, and Assemblyman Arthur Barclay. So, congratulations. And I'd also like to take a quick moment to say thank you to Dr. Coe Brockington and present to her these flowers. So thank you so much, Dr. Coe. Congratulations, class of 2016.
Please, another round of applause for Noemi Soria. That is a fantastic gesture. We are very, very much appreciative. At this point, we have one more scholarship, a number of scholarships to give out by the former president of the board of the Camden City School District and a part of the staff of Honorable Mayor Red. Susan Dunbar Bay is in our midst today, and she has awards for 3 of our students. And she is right here, first of all. Let me please give her a round of applause. She has served our district in many ways, including being a substitute teacher in the school district, and creative arts is her favorite school of all, so she has decided to award 3 of our graduating seniors special gifts to take with them as they go to the colleges or careers of their choice. And she has a gift here for Sheree Blackshear. Shania Birch. I'm sorry. And Denzel Sanders. Come on, Denzel. Thank you so much, Miss Susan Dunbar Bay.
I want to take this moment to thank Ms. Anyanwu for the presentation of the scholarships and awards. And also all of the award givers, a round of applause for you for your gifts. Our next speaker has distinguished herself as a dancer, as a mentor, and most importantly, as a top academic student in her school. Please join me in welcoming to the podium CAMVA's 2016 Valedictorian, Camra Carter.
Good morning, Creative Arts, Morgan Village Academy, family and friends. My name is Camra Sky Carter, and I'm delighted to stand in front of you as the valedictorian of the class of 2016. First and foremost, on behalf of my classmates, I would like to thank all of the CAMVA faculty and staff. Without them, we would not be sitting in our seats today. I want to thank my mother for raising me to be the finer young woman I am today. I would also like to thank my grandmother for being my motivation, for always telling me to keep my head up and stand on my own 2 feet. Teachers want me to talk about education. Parents want me to talk about support. And the graduates want me to be brief. So in honor of the graduates, I will be brief. We have come a long way from being naive freshmen to intelligent graduates. From all the yelling and screaming we heard throughout our time here, we can all say now that we have succeeded. From the Harlem Shake, to the one-leg get back, to the dab, then the sexy walk, now our next move is conquering this thing called life. We entered creative arts not knowing what was ahead. Growing up, I thought high school was like the movie Mean Girls, and I would be the one eating lunch in the bathrooms. I was completely wrong. At Creative Arts, we found our individual personalities. We were not judged to let our colors shine. Throughout our high school tenure, we have improved tremendously, all of us being better than what we were. Remember, life does not stop here. It's just the beginning. While going forward and anything you plan to do after this day, stay focused. Remember that this world will not give you anything, and you are entitled to nothing. As Rihanna and Drake say, you have to work. Remember, for people to take you seriously, you have to be serious within yourself. Determination will take you far, but having the drive will get you to the top. Graduates, remember who you are. Do not forget your self-worth. Remember that you can be anything that you want to be. Remember that they can take anything from you, your car, your house, your cell phone, but they cannot take your heart, mind, soul, or your education. To know who you are and your value means to know you are destined to achieve. All of you are kings and queens. Now it's time to sit on your throne. My speech is not to tell you what to do. It is to simply motivate you to do what you need to do. Life may hit you with a storm, but all you have to do is grab your umbrella and go through to see the rainbow. Never let someone tell you that you will never be anything because you are from Camden, New Jersey. All I see in front of me are shining stars, and it's your job to bring the light to our city. I see heads turning. I guess that's my cue to wrap it on up. Remember, class of 2016, you only have one life and one chance. Give your life purpose and make a difference in someone else's life. Staying focused, knowing your self-worth, and never giving up will get you to where you want to be. Be true to yourself and make sure that you act the way the man or woman in the mirror will want you to act. It's time to say, in words of Mrs. Wag, hello, world. Congratulations, class of 2016. We did it.
Thank you, Camera, and congratulations. I now want to welcome graduates Denzel Sanders and Kiana Blake for the presentation of the generous class gift.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kiana Blake.
I'm Denzel Sanders.
And we're here to present to you all the class gift from the class of 2016.
All right, so like many of you noticed that the side of our building say that Morgan Village Junior High School, and that's not what we are. We are not just Morgan Village, nor are we a junior high school. The signage took away from who we are, and previously, the banner that covered up the name of our school, like it fell apart, so now that we put a new banner there, and it's just like, it basically took away like the name of like the school, the definition of who we really are, so.
As a result, our class has held many fundraisers over the years, and we were fortunate enough to raise enough money to be able to make a choice about what we wanted to do with it. So we could have done anything with it as a senior class, but we thought it would be nice to leave behind a little token of our appreciation. So we donated the money to our school to be used for a new banner, and now we have a beautiful new sign out front designed by Mr. McAndrews and Mr. Brown of the Visual Arts Department that says Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy. And I feel as though that was an absolute necessity, being as though that defines who we are. We are Creative Arts.
Since we are on the topic of gifts, I would like to invite Carolyn James Weeks to the podium for the presentation of a gift to creative arts.
On behalf of NJF Lead, it's our pleasure every year we have an anonymous person, me, who gives a donation to the foundation for creative and performing arts. Mr. Dickerson and Dr. Co-Brockington, would you come forward, please? First of all, we're going to be sending a check to the school Mr. Dickerson, for those of you who don't know, is now a film star and a TV star. And I just want to say how proud I am of him personally. He has helped NJF Lead when we give our fundraisers. He's brought the band, or he sent the band. He has come himself. Dr. Brockington every year usually is able to come and support our efforts. And I just want you all to know how blessed and fortunate you are. Mr. Dickerson also, at the drop of a hat, I worked with another group of Black educators who are graduates of HBCUs, and we were working with the American Black History Museum in Philadelphia, and at the drop of a hat, to help raise funds for the African American Museum in Philadelphia, he always got students to come and play for us at that activity also. So on behalf of NJF Lead, we want to give an award to Mr. Dickerson and to the school and thank them for all that they do. You don't know how blessed you are to have these two people in your midst. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. And I did tell Mr. Dickerson's younger brother, who is now a teacher here, that he will rise to his brother's level very, very soon. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Will all the graduates please rise to lead us in the singing of the school alma mater? The alma mater is in the program for those that want to sing along. Before this gathered audience stands a group of graduates with a bright, burning bright future. Yes, they have now marked an important milestone and the marker of the beginning of their adulthood, but they still remain your friends and your children. They would not be here standing before you without all of your help and guidance over the last 18 years of life. I would now give the graduates a chance to celebrate you, parents, guardians, and mentors, for all the help you've given them in reaching this significant achievement. Our ceremony has concluded. Will the honored guests, friends, and family join me in wishing these graduates the best of luck and Godspeed on their continued educational journey?